Welcome back, friends. I am Lima Rosemary, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Biochemistry, St. Joseph College of Arts and Science, Kadalur. Now I am going to talk about toxic substances in environment and sources of toxicants. What is environmental toxicology? Environmental toxicology is a multidisciplinary field of science concerned with the study of harmful effects of various chemicals, biological, and physical agents on living organisms. Organisms can be exposed to various kinds of toxicants at any life cycle stage, some of which are more sensitive than others. Toxicity can also vary with the organism's placement within its food web. Bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation occurs when an organism stores toxicant in fatty tissues, which may eventually establish a trophic cascade and the biomagnification of specific toxicants. Biodegradation releases carbon dioxide and water as byproducts into the environment. This process is typically limited in areas affected by environmental toxicants. Harmful effects of such chemical and biological agents as toxicant from pollutants, insecticides, pesticides, and fertilizers can affect an organism and its community by reducing its species diversity and abundance. Such changes in pollution dynamics affect the ecosystem by reducing its productivity and stability. What are the sources of environmental toxicity? There are many sources of environmental toxicity that can lead to the presence of toxicants in our food, water, and air. These sources include organic and inorganic pollutants, pesticides, and biological agents, all of which can have harmful effects on living organisms. There can be so called point sources of pollution, for instance, the drains from a specific factory, but also non point sources like the rubber from car tires that contain numerous chemicals and heavy metals that are spread in the environment. First one, polychlorinated biphenyls. Polychlorinated biphenyls are organic pollutants that are still present in our environment today. It is banned in many countries due to the persistent nature of BCBS in aquatic ecosystems. Many aquatic species contain high level of this chemical, for example, wild salmon fishes. The next sources heavy metals. Heavy metals found in food sources such as fish can also have harmful effects. These metals can include mercury, lead, cadmium. It has been shown that fish, that is, rainbow trout, are exposed to higher cadmium levels and grow at a slower rate than fish exposed to lower levels or none. Moreover, cadmium can potentially alter the productivity and mating behaviors of these fish. Heavy metals cannot only affect behaviors but also the genetic makeup in aquatic organisms. Then metal toxicity. The most known or common types of heavy metals include zinc, arsenic, copper, lead, nickel, chromium, and cadmium. All of these types cause certain risk on human and environment health. Though certain amount of these metals can actually have an important role in maintaining certain biochemical and physiological functions in living organisms when in very low concentrations. However, they become noxious when they exceed certain threshold concentrations. Heavy metals are a huge part of environmental pollution and their toxicity is a problem of increasing significance for ecological, evolutionary, nutritional and environmental reasons. Arsenic is one of the most important heavy metals, causes health problems within ecological and humans. It is prominently toxic and carcinogenic and is extensively available in the form of oxides or sulfates or as a salt of iron, sodium, calcium, copper, etc. Not only that, but it is also the most abundant element here on Earth, and its specific inorganic forms are very dangerous to living creatures and the environment. Another extremely toxic metal, lead. Lead can and has been known to cause extensive environmental contamination and health problems in many parts of the world. The physical appearance of lead is bright and silver color metal. Some sources of lead pollution in the environment include metal plating and fishing operations, soil waste, factory chimneys, smelting of ores, waste from industries, fertilizer and pesticides, and many more. Then next, mercury. Mercury, a shiny silver white, can transform into a colorless and odorless gas when heated up. Mercury highly affects the marine environment, and there have been many studies conducted on the effects on the water environment. The biggest sources of mercury pollution include agriculture, municipal waste water discharges, mining, incineration, and discharges of industrial wastewater. Then next, cadmium. Cadmium is the seventh most toxic heavy metal. It is interesting in that once it is exposed to humans or animals in their environment, it will accumulate inside the body throughout the life of the human animal. Though cadmium was used as a pigment in paint industries, nowadays it is seen mostly in rechargeable batteries, tobacco smoke, and some alloys production. Next, chromium. Chromium can occur naturally when one burns oil and coal and is released into the environment through sewage and fertilizers. Chromium usage can be seen in industries such as metallurgy, electroplating, production of paints and pigments, tanning, wood preservation, chemical production, and bulb and paper production. Chromium toxicity affects the biological process in various plants such as maize, wheat, barley, cauliflower, citrus, and in vegetables. Chromium toxicity causes chlorosis and necrosis in plant. Then next sources of pollutants are pesticides. Pesticides are a major source of environmental toxicity. These chemically synthesized agents have been known to persist in the environment long after their administration. The poor biodegradability of pesticides can result in bioaccumulation of chemicals in various organisms along with biomagnification within a food web. Pesticides can be categorized according to the pest they target. Insecticides are used to eliminate agricultural pests that attack various fruits and crops. Herbicides target herbal pests such as weeds and other unwanted plants that reduce crop production. DDT, dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane. Dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane is an organochlorine insecticide that has been banned due to its adverse effects on both humans and wildlife. DDT's insecticidal properties were first discovered in 1939. Following this discovery, DDT was widely used by farmers in order to kill agricultural pests such as the potato beetle, codling moth, and corn earworm. In 1962, the harmful effects of the widespread and uncontrolled use of DDT were detailed by Rachel Carson in her book The Silent Spring. Such large quantities of DDT and its metabolite dichlorodiphenyl dichloroethylene that were released into the environment were toxic to both animals and humans. This is the structure of DDT. Dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane. DDT is not easily biodegradable and thus the chemical accumulates in soil and sediment runoff. Water systems become polluted and marine life such as fish and shellfish accumulate DDT in their tissues. Furthermore, this effect is amplified when animals who consume the fish also consume the chemical, demonstrating biomagnification within the food web. The process of biomagnification has detrimental effects on various bird species because DDT and DDE accumulate in their tissues, including eggshell thinning. Rapid declines in the bird population have been seen in Europe and North America as a result. Humans who consume animals or plants that are contaminated with DDT experience adverse health effects. Various studies have shown that DDT has damaging effects on the liver, nervous system, and reproductive system of humans. Next, sulfuryl fluoride. Sulfuryl fluoride is an insecticide that is broken down into fluoride and sulfate when released into the environment. Fluoride has been known to negatively affect aquatic wildlife. Elevated levels of fluoride have been proven to impair the feeding efficacy and growth of the common crab. Exposure to fluoride alters ion balance, total protein and lipid level within these fish, which changes their body composition and disturbs various biochemical processes. And finally, cyanobacteria and cyanotoxins. Cyanobacteria are blue-green algae or photosynthetic bacteria. They grow in many types of water. Their rapid growth, that is bloom, is related to high water temperature as well as eutrophication. What is eutrophication? Eutrophication resulting from enrichment with minerals and nutrients, often due to runoff from the land, that induces excessive growth of these algae. Many genera of cyanobacteria produce several toxins. Cyanotoxin can be dermotoxic, neurotoxic, and hepatotoxic, though death related to their exposure is rare. Thank you.